Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here this evening and happy holidays to you all. My name is Corlette DeVoe. Tonight's session is titled Keeping Loved Ones with Dementia Connected During the Holidays. We go through all kinds of things during the holidays. You know, some of us are happy, we are sad, we spend too much money, we eat too much, all kinds of things going on. But as the holiday season approaches, we know that some of us are weighted, feel the weight of having to take care of our loved one. For all of us here, especially the caregivers, this time of year can bring unique challenges, balancing our tradition, things we did in the past, managing expectations, cooking, and then, of course, ensuring that our loved ones feel safe, included, and connected. Our loved ones with dementia, we have to remember that we cannot leave them out of all of the festivities. So this season is a space of support and understanding and practical guidance. So we are here to share experience, exchange strategies, and then of course remind each other that we are not alone in this journey. You are not alone. Together we will explore simple, meaningful ways to honor the season while honoring the needs of those we love who are living with dementia. We want to help them. We want them to stay engaged. We want them to be calm and connected in so many ways. We want to bring them comfort and joy. And we want to help you get through this as peaceful as possible. So take a breath, settle in, and know that this room is filled with people who understand your heart, your commitment, and your daily courage and your daily struggles. So let's begin this conversation together. Please allow me to introduce my two co-hosts, Dr. Teresa Clark and Dr. Crystal Rowe. Dr. Clark, if you'd like to introduce yourself and please shed some light on this topic as you are the Alzheimer's expert. Dr. Clark?
Thank you so much, Ms. Colette DeVoe, for that warm introduction. I am Dr. Teresa Clark. I am a physician scientist. I am in Alzheimer's research, and I have been for the last 10 years. So, with me and other scientists, we're still working on finding a cure for Alzheimer's disease. With that said, with the theme that we have tonight, keeping our loved ones with dementias connected, particularly during the holidays, there's the importance of inclusion. People with dementia can feel isolated or left out during the holidays, and we have to make an effort to include them in the family gathering and activities. But mostly, we may find it a little bit hectic, like Colette just mentioned, is because when we are not celebrating a particular holiday, we have our loved ones who are in a routine. And with the holidays, it tends to take them a little bit away from that routine. So that may at times make them anxious or a little bit, they may also experience some type of anxiety. So it's up to us, knowing that we are now taking them out of that, that normal routine that we have them out of, to now being pulled into this, grand celebration. People are coming in, and there's more noise. They may become more agitated as well. So we have to create a comfortable environment. So we have to consider their needs and the preference when planning our holiday events. We may have to provide a more quieter space if the space that they're in is a little bit noisy, where the party may be going on and music is playing, etc. So we have to take into consideration the this comfortable environment that we need to keep them in. So we need to provide a quiet space, one with familiar decorations and some simple activities. Also, the meaningful activities, we want to also have our loved ones to be engaged as well so that they can, enjoy themselves. Um, they can either be listening to music or during the preparation for the Christmas, they may be helping with cooking or baking or decorating or something of that sort. Something where they are stimulated and are paired to be participating in helping with the presentation or the participation in them taking part in the preparation for the Christmas holiday. That's what I was trying to say. So there are times when, loved ones may be visiting the house for Christmas or New Year's or something like that. And we have some relatives who are relatively maybe a little bit louder than most. Um, but we want to make our family members, particularly the ones who are visiting the house or home, um, to not to ask so many questions. I mean, they know that your loved ones may be experiencing some type of dementia, but for them to not think that they are abnormal or they may not understand them, so they may want to speak a little bit louder. No, just inform them that um, they can hear very well and they're quite normal, just that they don't remember a few things. So if a family member comes in, it'll be nice if they not walk up to your loved one and say, "Oh, do you remember me?" Oh, that's kind of awkward, wouldn't it be? Or you being the caregiver, you can introduce that particular family member by saying, "Mummy, this is your niece, Donna. Donna, say hello to your grandmother," or something like that. All right, so that they would not feel as if that they are strange or something like that. Okay, any questions so far? So we want to keep the communications very simple. All right, simple languages for them to speak slowly. They want to be more uh, patient with our loved ones, and you want to try to avoid any type of confrontation, particularly from family members around individuals with dementia, because it makes them very anxious and tense. That they may, would like to change the environment or something like that. And also, as caregivers, if you can get other family members to participate not only in the celebration, but this time can also be a time for you to get some rest. So, some respite care. If a family member can volunteer for a few hours, would give the caregiver time to spend some time with herself, go to the spa, or have dinner at another relative's house, or have visit another friend of theirs, that gives them more opportunity to take a break. So other family members who are visiting can spend some time with your loved ones. So I would ask for the persons who are participating, what are some of the ways that you would include your loved ones during the holidays. What are some of the activities do you have planned for persons living with dementia for the holidays? What are some of the plans that you have? Any of you would like to share with us on some of the ways you have planned to include your loved ones for the holidays activities? Or you all don't have to come all at once. Anyone planning on taking a trip and taking their loved ones with them?
Oh, good.
Or,
Well, good
yeah,
evening. I'm Rhonda. I'm not
Rhonda?
taking a trip, but what I realized, watching some Christmas movies, that my mom still remembers the Christmas carols. So
Oh,
one of the
nice.
activities that we plan to do is to sing the different Christmas carols. Then they give her opportunity to participate along with her grandchildren, you see. So it'll be like an interaction so they won't
Yes,
be so standoffish, because some of the younger children, they're not quite understanding the situation. So that will give
right.
them chance to, interact.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. And, quite a, others would be able to participate as well. Will there be somebody playing an instrument like a piano or something like that while you guys are singing?
Well, I was thinking of my nephew. He's very good at playing the flute. So we can try that. And along with even just if it's the music in the background, that
Yeah,
would be just fine too, because she does recognize even the instrumentals. Like the other Sunday they had uh on the movie we were watching at "O Come, O Ye Faithful," and it just started, and she was like, "Oh come," and she was mouthing, and she understood. She remembers the music. So
excellent, excellent,
yeah, so yeah.
great. That is good. So, at the time that you guys are singing, would you be decorating the house at the time, or decorating the Christmas tree, or like how your mom did with you?
Um, I think that the house will be decorated by then, but when everyone comes together. I think we were mainly focusing on getting her to interact with the grandchildren more, because I
Great.
think that they are the younger ones, they miss out on her stories. She used to tell a lot of stories. And
Oh,
yeah, so I just trying to give them an experience with her, that's similar to what we had. And I
yes,
think the singing the carols and you know even watching the movies, some of the movies, she enjoys that.
that's great. That's great. I think that's a super idea. We'll have
Mhm.
lots of fun.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else would like to share ways in which you plan to include your loved ones over the holiday? Um, Share some of your holiday activities with us.
I see in the chat that we have Dr. Moss had to drop off, but she did say the same thing that Ms. Chase said, singing Christmas carols and playing games. Did she say? Oh, singing carols or familiar music. So as we all know, people with dementia and Alzheimer's, they remember word for word every song from back in the day.
Yes,
So yes, anything that you can bring from back in the day, any songs, trivia from back in the day would be a good one, right, Dr. Clark? Maybe trivia asking presidents, questions like that, presidents from 1960s, etc., music, songs, things like that. Those are great,
yes,
great activities that they can do. And then, of course, sitting there, having grandma tell a story. One,
Yes, it's also
that's not stressful. And two, it engages the grandkids so the grandkids can hear stories about their parents and what their grandparents did.
right. Particularly, during the holidays,
Mhm,
what they did,
mhm,
back then as they prepared for the holidays. So that also would be a great story to share as well.
mhm,
And another activity that they can do is, going through the photo album
mhm,
with the family members as well. That also brings back memories of, family members, things that might have happened during the year or during the past years. That's another great activity to do as well. So, is there anybody else would like to share with us some of the activities you plan for your loved ones? And I think also too, I know, growing up in my household, my mother loved making fruitcake. So she would have those fruitcake ingredients soaked in rum, I guess 6 months, 8 months in advance. Oh my goodness. I never thought fruitcake would take so long to bake. I I I swear that this thing took about 2 days just to bake. And she would time them, once it's all mixed up and everything. And she did not have a blender or anything like that. So everything was done by hand, and she would mix them and put them into a pan and bake them. Um, it took at least, I think, about 2 to 3 hours just to bake. And once they were finished and they were cooled, then she was able to add the rum to them and then kind of like pack them away. Growing up as a child, I think that took about 2 days. But I must say, at the end, oh man, they were the best fruitcakes. The best, for sure. And we were all dressed in our pajamas and sitting outside the kitchen just watching her doing what she had to do. Great times. Really, really good times.
mhm.
I miss those. No, I don't bake now, for sure.
I don't
Okay.
think anyone does those. Back in the day, we did everything from scratch. Does anyone do anything from scratch anymore? Remember potato bread? We used to grate a potato bread with the sweet. I don't think anyone does that anymore. You know why? Because the that generation is that they're all dying. So you know what? If we weren't concerned about them burning the house down, maybe they could go and teach us a thing or two in the kitchen. That's
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
activity. We don't
Yeah.
want recipes, to fade away.
Yes, definitely. And I think, during this holiday season, to definitely remember to take a lot of photos, videos, keep those cameras out and take as many photos as you can, for sure. You
So,
know?
based on this topic, may I ask, we're talking about the holidays. Is there anything, does anyone want to share anything about this holiday season that they are looking forward to or not looking forward to? Because we want to get y'all talking because, Christmas is right around the corner. You are going to face challenges, right?
Good
What,
evening. I'd
please,
just like to add that with the photos, we normally drive around the island to all of the decorated lights
yes,
and we take photos with the lights,
that's
Very
beautiful,
nice.
especially Rawson Square.
Oh, very
beautiful.
nice. Excellent.
Fantastic.
Yes, continue to do so.
Absolutely. Anyone else? Whatever you are feeling and thinking, just share it with us. If you have a question for Dr. Clark or myself. Are you feeling, is anyone feeling overwhelmed, thinking, okay, I've got to care for my loved one with dementia, and I have to cook, got to run to the grocery store, I've got to do all these things. Is anyone feeling overwhelmed?
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that, Paula, because I'm thinking I don't have, my mom is passed now, but I can only imagine, you know, you've got to run to the store, buy everything, and Christmas is already stressful, to be honest. Christmas is supposed to be a joyous time. It is, but preparing the Christmas dinner and preparing for people to come over can be a little stressful because you want everything to be right. So, Paula, how are you going to get through this? What's your plan? How are you going to get through this feeling of being overwhelmed?
I have no idea. I am sitting here. I'm an only child.
Oh,
I'm an
Lord,
only
that's
child.
the part. My goodness.
I left my home to come and take care of my mom.
Mm,
Honestly, I don't know. I was just thinking because I have a funeral to go to on Sunday. My birthday is next week. And yes, I want to celebrate that, but I need to get someone to be with my mom to do that. And Christmas is coming. I normally bake in the Christmas. I have so many things I want to do. Even tomorrow, I want to make my aunt's birthday's on Thursday. I want to make some soup for her because she just came out the hospital. And how am I going to do it? I asked my husband to come here and sit with my mom until I go and buy the stuff to make my soup. Honestly, I don't know. I'm trying to think it through in my head, and it's all making me depressed, to be honest with you.
and foremost, don't be depressed, Paula. What I would
But
recommend, I'll share some thoughts with you, and then I'll ask Dr. Clark as well. Paula, if you can write down, 'cause I heard you say a couple of things. Your aunt's birthday is coming up, your birthday is coming up.
mhm.
You've got to go to the grocery store, you've got a funeral coming up, you got to cook Christmas dinner. I would start by writing down the things that you need to do because you'll take it out your head and put it on paper. So when you write it down, write down the things that's coming up first. So what is right in front of you that you have to address right now? What's tomorrow? Write that down
Oh,
and put them in numerical order and address those things first. Because if you try to address all of them at one time, it is going to be extremely overwhelming. So you almost have to compartmentalize things. You just got to deal with what's coming up in front of you tomorrow. And then tomorrow you deal with what's coming up on Thursday, and so on and so forth. Um, that's what I would suggest considering. And you asked your husband to help you. Do you have a neighbor? Does your mom have siblings? Does your mom have friends? You know, um, Having people come and take turns when you have to do things may relieve the burden and the stress. And even if you don't have something to do, quote unquote, something to do, Paula, I would still recommend trying to get someone to come and relieve you, even if it's just for 2 hours. Because in that 2 hours, you can just go and sit on the beach. You can just go and read a book. You need your time for yourself. It is extremely important that you take time for yourself because if not, you're going to end up being sick. So those are my suggestions, Dr. Clark.
Yes, I agree with you 100%, Colette. Just to emphasize, Paula comes first. First, Paula comes first. So you have to make sure that you are you are hydrated. You want to stay hydrated. You want to make sure that you are well rested. Um, you um, are taking in all the nutrients that you need in order for you to take care of your mom and all the other little activities that you have planned. I agree, you have to have somebody to help you. Rope in some of your friends, the neighbor, like Paulette suggested. Yes, your husband is coming over. And I assure you that you're able to do everything that you have planned out. But you definitely would have to have some help and make sure that you stay hydrated.
Mhm.
Well, I
Just
drink
sleep.
a lot of water. I drink a lot of water. That's my beverage of choice. I drink a lot of water.
Mhm.
But I think where I am going wrong is everything is upstairs in my head what I have to do. And
Mm.
that's what this, and unlike you said, my mom is first. I'm not going to lie to you. She's no longer able to walk. She doesn't talk much either.
Mm.
Um, I wish she would, but she's not walking anymore. And I tried to move her out of the bed. And I realized that, like yesterday, she almost fell. When I was moving her from the recliner into the wheelchair to put her in the bed, she almost fell. And I'm like, Mom, I can't do this anymore because I don't want to hurt you, you know. So she had to stay in bed all day today, you know. I I
Oh,
realize I have to get someone to help me. I realize that because it
yeah,
is becoming overwhelming, you know.
yeah.
But
Okay.
Paula, let me ask you a question. Do you have neighbors or anyone that,
Unfortunately, I live in a family area, like right opposite me. I walk out my door and walk right across the road, and my aunt is there. She turns
oh,
87 on Thursday. She just came out of the hospital. Down the road, I have my uncle. He's 80-some years old. He and my oldest cousin, they're both going through dementia right now. All of us are aging around about the same time.
so your
And,
family members that live across the street and down the road, who takes care of them?
well, my aunt right now is at her daughter's house up in the Yamakra area.
Okay,
My uncle down the road now, he has a lot of children,
okay.
but unfortunately, my mother only had me one. So he can have the kids come. They come and they take care of him and the oldest daughter. But I think one of my biggest problem is I don't like to ask. I will pay before I ask anybody to do anything for me.
Paula,
Yeah.
it's
You have
extremely
to.
important that you work through that. You've got to work through that because what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up getting sick and you're going to need someone to take care of you and your mother. Your uncle that's down the street that has a bunch of children. Maybe can take your mom there and say, hey, can mom sit with her brother or Uncle so and so, and that way while
Mhm.
they're watching your uncle, they could be watching your mom too. You've got
It
to
ain't gonna work.
create.
It ain't gonna work. There's two down there with dementia.
Yeah, but
They
who watches
actually have
them?
someone in there taking care of them. No, my cousin has to come and take care of her father and her sister.
Okay,
Then she has to dash home and take care of her house. But
I
you know,
understood.
like
May
I
I,
Other,
said, everybody's getting old the same time, and we all have our lives and whatever to do. You know,
Understood.
yeah.
that's what my
may I
problem.
ask a question? Because you sound like how I was 2 years ago. Um, at some point in time, even if it's 2 days out of the week, you're gonna have to get somebody to help you, even if you pay that person.
That,
Um,
that's what I'm looking for now. That's my
yeah,
next, at least 3 days a week, because
at
I
least,
even bathing my mom is becoming a chore right now. You know,
yes.
changing her
And
is
those,
becoming because I have bad knees, I have bad back. That's why.
yeah,
That's
and
why.
you wearing yourself down more and more every time. And
Yeah.
you definitely need to get someone to assist you and have them come on full days where you can actually take some time to relax yourself, to put yourself in the frame of mind to handle that because um the the mind is a very serious thing. Because I know when I got to that point, because I was trying to do it, my niece and I was trying to do it ourselves. It was a lot because she had a home, I had a job. I was trying to be flexible, work from home, and all these other things. It was becoming taxing, and it got to the point that I think my niece resented it, and I was becoming depressed.
Mm.
So you do not want to go there.
Go there. No.
So what we did was we looked at our finances and say we need to find this from somewhere. And it's easier than you think when you really look at um when you're looking for someone and say, okay, this is what we can afford, and this is what we're going to pay, and this is how many days we can have this person, and you plan that out. Life became so much easier that now when we interact and we the remaining days we share it,
Mm-hmm.
our interactions with our mom is a lot more enjoyable than it was 2 years ago.
Mhm.
Because when it started, it was heavy. It was really heavy. And she didn't know what was going on with herself. And and she was going through hard stages of emotions. What's happening to me? What's happening to me? And you know, hey, this is the person who took care of me. I am now taking care of you.
Yep.
You
Mhm.
Yep.
know,
That's what I tell her all the time.
exactly. So yeah,
Good.
you have to get to the point, sit down, figure out how much you could afford, and work out your days and get somebody in there to help you. Because like they said, it's just going to wear you down and physically, but the caretakers take the brunt of it. You do.
Yeah, I notice. It ain't
Yeah.
easy. It ain't easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing, Rhonda.
You're welcome.
Has anyone heard of this old saying, being a parent is a thankless job? But I will say, being a caregiver is also a thankless job. You do it out of the love and kindness of your heart. And it's not easy, but we're on this
No.
call because we want you to know that you have support. I love um, the conversation between Paula and Rhonda, because now Rhonda can share some of her experience with Paula. And that's what this group is all about. Two people having the same experiences, but at different points and different times that can help each other. Anyone else have anything else to share?
I
I have
just
a
want to
question.
share that even though we get help, sometimes it can still be a bit overwhelming. First, before we get help, we have to accept having someone else in our space. And once we get over that, then, like she said, we start with a few days a week and then realize we need more than a few days a week. But like you say, when the person is there with them, when you take off for them a couple hours, sometimes you don't find time to relax. You spend those couple hours just doing errands or just doing things that needs to be done while that person is here, like trying to get the meal out or something like that. So it still can be very overwhelming. And then again, the holiday coming up, I don't think the caregivers may be working through the holiday. They may be off. So that's another challenge.
That's a huge challenge. How do you get past that if the caregivers are off? Now you're off from work, the caregivers are off, and you have to run around and take care of your loved one. Any suggestions on how to handle that? That's a biggie.
It is a big one.
Well, a
Hmm.
few times I got up very, very early to cook. I was sleepy for the rest of the day, but that worked one or two times to get up and cook while he was still asleep.
Well, what Dr. Clark is going to tell you is you have to take care of yourself. Sleep is important,
Sleep
right?
is definitely important.
Yes, it
That's the
is.
only way to function is to sleep. Your brain as well has to rest, get rid of all the activities that you did during the daytime, get rid of all the toxins in order for it to rejuvenate, in order for you to function the next day. You know, it's not easy, but if you realize that, you know, you have to do this, but at the same time, you know, try not to be overwhelmed. You have to take one task at a time because you only can do one thing at a time. You know, as women, you know, we want to multitask. You know, we need to drive, we need to read the map and everything else all at the same time. But some of that, we just got to take it slow, you know. And if the fruitcake ain't done, go to bed, stick it in the oven tomorrow. There's always another day.
And
But
Dr.
once,
Clark, why do we even have to bake the fruitcake? Why can't we just buy the fruitcake from Super Value?
yeah, we can buy the fruitcake too. Yeah, we can do that too. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
we don't have to do that. You know, as the chapters in our lives, the chapter in our lives changes. We have to change along with the changes. So we used to make stuff from scratch before, but now we're taking care of our loved one. Listen, we're gonna have to, if you have to buy the peas and rice already made or something that's already to help you, you can still enjoy Christmas dinner. You don't have to necessarily make Christmas dinner. You can always buy it and take it home and heat it up. But
that's
don't,
right.
you know, figure out ways to release some of the stress and the burden that you have along with care, with taking care of your loved one, because it's just too much. You can't do those things anymore. Make the
Right.
macaroni and cheese and then go to fish fry or cricket club or something and buy the food and take it home and heat it up the next day. I know as Haymans, we don't like that. Oh, yeah, you can buy it from Super Value. Yes, ma'am. You can buy it from Super Value. You're absolutely correct. Okay.
Yeah,
There
you
are
can order them,
so many ways. Yes.
you know. And if family members are coming over, then, you know, everybody can
Potluck.
participate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that will definitely make things a little easier
Okay.
if
Mhm.
the whole family would participate, you know.
You have to do
But
things differently. You have to do things differently because your situation is different. So don't, you know, feel pressured to prove anything to anyone. Don't worry about who's talking. Worry about your health and the health and, you know, well-being of your loved one. Make sure you free up some time for yourself and don't take on too much. And be comfortable saying no. No, I can't do that.
mhm, yeah, it's okay to say that, you
Mhm.
know. I agree with you. But, you know, what are some of the you know, we talked a little bit about some of the challenges, and besides the fact that we can, you know, get somebody else to come in to help, family members can also bring potluck or whatever. We can also, you know, order the turkey from Super Value or something like that. But what other challenges that we would be faced with, and how would we overcome those? You know, besides the ones that we mentioned, what are some of the other challenges that we would face during the holiday, and how would we overcome those?
So did we exhaust all of the challenges? And that's what you're saying? No other challenges? That's it?
It has to be more than just that.
What about family members coming to visit from out of town? Anyone have family members coming for the holidays?
I don't see that as a challenge. I see that as a plus because I have more hands to help. Um,
Great.
You're right.
um, I'm looking forward to them coming.
That's fantastic.
Great.
That's a great way to see it because somebody else would see it as a challenge because, oh my goodness, now I have to cook for them. I have to entertain them. I have to do that. No, you don't. I love the
No, I don't. I
yes,
will delegate those tasks.
fantastic. Love it.
Mm-mm.
That is
No.
that's that is a great response. Love it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and they already know it too.
Absolutely. And then let them do the work, and that way you can take a nap. You can rest. Just go in
Right.
the room, close the door, and be antisocial if you want.
Yep.
Watch a Lifetime movie or something. Read a book.
Yeah. That's where care comes in.
So, Dr. Clark is
Yep.
talking about challenges. Let me ask a question here about, so we talked about challenges and, you're always doing things, you're taking care of someone else. How do you prioritize yourself, your self-care as a caregiver? What are you doing to prioritize yourself to be sure that you don't get sick or become burnt out? Is anyone doing anything that they would like to share? You know, so nobody is doing anything to take care of themselves. You're just putting your loved ones first.
Um, well, one way I found a release.
Mm,
Um, I started painting. I had used to paint before,
love it.
but I started again, and I also find that it is quite a calming release.
Mm,
As you paint, as they're either napping or they're just having their quiet time, I just paint. And in doing that, it also allows me to have that release.
that's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Painting is so relaxing. Yes.
Yeah, it is. So your loved ones, do you allow them to paint with you, Miss Chase?
A call came in at the same time. A call cut in on the phone. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
You enjoy painting. Your
Mhm.
loved one, does she enjoy painting as well?
She enjoyed watching. She
Oh,
enjoyed watching it. And in fact,
mm,
when I go to wash the brushes and the palettes,
yeah.
um, she participates with that, making sure I get it clean, pointing out where it's not clean. But yeah, but she likes to watch, and she'll say, "Oh, pretty." You know, I did one
Oh,
of her. She sat still enough for it. She liked it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
yes, that is good. So what did she think of the portrait after you were finished?
She just
Did
looked at it. She smiled and looked at it. I think that means she likes it.
great. That's fantastic. So I'm
Mhm.
happy to know that, you're able to do an activity where you are relaxed and then as well, having her to participate. That's excellent. Is there
Mhm.
anybody else who would like to share some of their self-care as a caregiver during this busy holiday season? Are there anybody who's traveling? Anybody's leaving the island or coming to the islands with your loved ones?
Um,
I guess everybody is stable. No, Miss Wanda. But like I said in the beginning, that you've all year you've had this you have this routine that you have with your loved ones, and here comes the holiday where you're going to be stepping out of that routine to taking in the holiday festivities, and it's a little different. So expect some agitation, some anxiety, and try to figure out, what may be triggering that as to, why they are becoming a little anxious. And it could be anything. It could be the noise, from the loud talking and the laughter and the music. And you just have to pull them away, put them into a quiet room, or, it depends upon the time of day that this is happening, to take them for a slow walk or something like that, only to get them through the day, and hopes that they're able to get back on their routine within the the next few days or so. But just keep that in mind, to have a plan as to what to do when you notice that they are becoming agitated, their behaviors are changing, and just know what the plan is, and what you think, what is causing it, and try to have some corrective action plan so that they can be more comfortable. And again, with relatives coming, and like I said earlier, and they know that your loved one has dementia, some people may think like, so, what can I say? Or how do I say it? Or do you think she's still human? She's still the same person she was years ago. She just doesn't have a memory. So, like I said, for the loved ones who are coming to visit, if they cannot ask, walk into the house and said, "Hey, mom, do you remember me?" She may say no. She may say yes. Who knows? Okay, so you as the caregiver may have to do the introduction. Oh, mom, like I said, mom, this is Betty, your nephew, or Betty, your niece, or something like that, so that they can won't feel as if they are a stranger, even in their own home. So you want them to be comfortable as well, and have them to participate, like we mentioned, in the activities as to what it may be, so that they can stay engaged and stimulated.
Mhm.
Okay. So if they want to help roll napkins for the dinner plate with the forks and the so forth so on, fine. They can all do that. Okay?
Do we
Yep.
have anyone else that want to share this evening?
Um, Good evening, everyone.
Good
I
evening.
I don't know if there was another question, but the question that I missed was, is anybody traveling? And yes, we are traveling. I am traveling. I am caretaker for my husband, and we're traveling back home to the Bahamas for this Christmas. And yeah, we're traveling with a lot of supplies because I do his dialysis 5 days a week. Um, but we're looking forward to it. I heard all of the advice with um, making sure working some time to rest, and I know that that's something that I need to do. Um, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do that.
So, Wanda, let me ask you a question. You are a fantastic cook, right? Are you planning on cooking the
Yes.
next that you're traveling? See, Wanda, you're traveling with your husband and your children and your family. We just talked about self-care, taking care of yourself. You are under tremendous amount of stress, taking care of your husband, and I think you're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
You do truly, truly, truly need time, just a little bit of time for you. So if I may suggest, I know you normally cook everything and listen, you can throw down. Maybe not cook as much. Maybe let your mother-in-law, who was also an amazing mother and person, maybe you divide and conquer and not cook so much because you need this time. You're traveling, you're going on vacation. You need this time to also take a vacation, have a little bit of rest because you're constantly working, working, working. We're here to support you and everyone else on this call, but that's one bit of advice that I would say. Think about how you can do something a little differently. Maybe not cook as many dishes. Get other
Okay.
people to help. Okay?
Okay. And I will say this trip, my older sister will be there with me. Um, so she will help with the cooking as well. So we'll tag team. So
Okay.
I will definitely have some help in that regard. And I think, between my nephews and my brother-in-law, I think I'll be able to sneak away for at least an hour, with them, talking with Anthony and.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but I know it's something that I do have to put on my list,
Mm-hmm.
um, to make sure working somehow to get some rest. I know it is definitely something that I have to do, that I came to the realization a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Gonna take care of your husband if you got sick, Wanda.
exactly. Yep.
You're an
Ex-
amazing wife, but your husband needs you. He
Yeah,
needs you to take care of yourself so you can take care of him.
yes.
Hmm,
Mm-hmm.
very good. Yes.
Yes.
You come to the right place. Visiting home, there are lots of hands, I am sure.
Yes.
So it will go very well.
I know where I'm going for Christmas dinner. I'm right, Wanda. I know I'm going for Christmas dinner.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Anyone
Uh,
else want to share? Thank you so much for sharing that, Wanda.
You're welcome.
mhm.
We had a few more people join. So
Yes.
the new folks that joined, we are talking about keeping your loved ones with dementia connected during the holidays. We are getting ready to wrap up. If there's anything you want to share with us, please, feel free to share any thoughts or anything that you're feeling right now as you're going into the holiday season.
And those of you who are not in our chat group, you can add your name and phone number, and I would add you to the group. And Miss Paula Drew, are you in the group?
No, I'm not.
They just
Okay.
entertain whatever fancy he's got, and they just go and implement it. So
And
and said,
I
we're
am going
not going to accept this. The court accepted hundreds of Democrats,
to find
Republicans, the media. Nobody's going to accept these.
the,
Hey, Paula, can you mute?
with your mom.
I was telling you that I'm not in your chat group.
Okay. And I would like for you to put your number so I can reach out to you.
In the chat.
Yeah. Put it right
Okay.
here in the chat tonight. And I'll reach out to you and try to assist you in finding somebody.
Okay, I will.
All right. And anybody else who are not in the chat group, please add your phone number and we would add you to the group. We share articles, anything of interest concerning caregivers are posted at least weekly in order to continue with the support from this caregiver support group. What are some of the, everybody's just so quiet, what are persons in this chat tonight, if they had a wish, what would you wish possibly the Alzheimer's Association or the Dementia Society, what would be your wish to them in assisting you this holiday? What would be some of your wishes?
You mentioned earlier that, when people are going shopping to get things, if there was a place, I have someone who will be sitting, but I know there are people who are their primary caregiver, their parents or their person's primary caregiver. They have to either carry them along or do whatever. But if there was a place that they can have them carry them for a couple of hours while they do their shopping and then pick them up and carry them back home just for a couple of hours during the Christmas holidays, that would have been an ideal situation. I don't know if there's a place like that. I maybe someone could share if there are places like that, but I don't know of anyone. You usually have to pay for
Yeah,
the full bill.
it's
And
called
then,
a respite care. I understand that there may be one or two places in Nassau where they do have respite care. I can look into that for you and let you know. And Ms. Rhonda, you're in the group chat as well.
not in the Alzheimer's group, but not in the other
Support.
group. No.
Okay, can you add your information to the chat tonight at the bottom?
Sure. But most of the places here, I remember we were looking, um, you have to pay for the full day and not the hours that you left the person.
So then why don't you leave it? You don't want to leave it the whole day?
Not really.
Wait. That's actually a part of your self-care.
Uh-huh.
Yes and no. I mean, yes, but I
Yes.
just know I'm thinking about their attention span before they get antsy. I have about 4 hours attention span before they say, okay, this is not my home. You all need to find my children.
Okay.
I don't belong here. I have about 4 hours
So
before
let me
that
share something with
happens.
you for you to consider. I'll tell you what I'm going to liken this as. When we were younger and we went
Hmm.
to kindergarten for the first time, our parents dropped us off and our parents were a wreck, right? And when they
Hmm.
dropped us off, they thought we weren't going to do well because they didn't do well either. And boy, day one, I mean, we may have cried the first day, but day two, day three, we were fine. So give your mom the benefit of the doubt. I will tell you that I'm a former owner of my own facility.
Mm-hmm.
I had a facility in Pembroke Pines. It was called a Joyful Heart Adult Daycare. I had 65 seniors every single day.
Wow.
And no, we did not, I didn't do 1 or 2 hours. It was either 4 hours or the full day, anything over four, the full day. And that was my facility, Rhonda. So the facility in Nassau is different. And I will tell you that the first time you do that and you leave your mom, yes, you are probably going to cry. You're going to feel guilty and you're going to go through all kinds of things, withdrawals, I call it. However, don't go back. Don't turn back and say, okay, I can't do this. Be strong enough to say, let me be gone for at least 5 hours. Pay for the whole day. Okay. Because what you'll find is that you won't have to rush so much. Right. And so when you come back, you're going to think, oh, mom is just upset. If this facility is a good one, they will help calm your mom and distract you with different activities if they are a good facility. And once you distract your mom and your mom finds other people just like her, you may be surprised that now your mom may start looking forward to going to this place. So give her the benefit of the doubt, try it. Because I had a lot of people in my facility just like you that said, I cannot, my mom will never stay. They leave. I said, listen, I'll let you leave her here for free for half a day. They came back, their mom was sitting at the table playing cards and laughing, and they're standing waiting for mom to be ready. So give your mom a chance and give yourself a chance because you need it, and so do your mom. So she can be around others just like her. That may actually help her feel a little better. Okay?
I hear you.
Can you
Okay.
do that? Just like, I don't know if I can do that. But, you know, um, just try, even if it's
Huh?
4 hours. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. Excellent. But there are other support or resources that I wish most of the persons on this call are able to have, including I don't know if they have personal shoppers or the food store you can order your groceries online and have them delivered. They don't have that yet. That will be a great thing to do as well.
I'm not sure they have that in Nassau. I know they have it in the States.
Yeah.
Dr. Clark, we're in the States. They have that here. I don't think they have that in the Bahamas. Um, Rhonda, Paula, do they have like a DoorDash? Do they even have, I can't remember this one company that drops off and does deliveries? Do they shop for you? And
I
are
know
they,
Sullivan's Fresh Markets in Yamacraw. If you, I think if you call a number and give them or send them your list, you can pull up and pay for your groceries. They'll have it packaged for you.
that's beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is, yeah,
That's great.
Mhm.
yeah. That
See,
saves you
that will
time.
help.
Hmm.
You have to start thinking differently. Every little thing helps, and now you have to start thinking about how can I do things differently because your life is different. You're in a different chapter in your life. And so what does that look like? It can't be the same as when you were younger and you didn't have your mom or your loved one to take care of. It has to change a little bit.
Yeah. It's similar to the changes that, our moms had to make with us being babies. You know, we did not come with an instruction guide, and having to take care of our loved ones now, there's no instruction guide. So you have to make your own. Whatever works for you, that's your guide. Yep.
So think about your loved one, when you were younger, your parents took you everywhere, and then you went off to college. How did their lives change when you went off to college? They no longer had you to take care of. They shifted. So now the roles are reversed. You are taking care of them. Now you need to make a shift because things are different. And that's just how life is. And, I commend all of you for devoting your time and energy and love and support to your loved ones that are going through this. It is commendable because there are so many people out there that do not do this. We love that. And that's why we are here to support. And we are here every single month. We have not missed a month since we started, right, Dr. Clark? We've been here every single month because we want you to know that you have support. We do have topics. However, if there's something else that's not on the topic that you want to talk about, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about because this forum is all about you. It's all about you and the journey that you're going through with your loved ones because both Dr. Clark and I have gone through this journey and we don't have our loved ones. We don't have our mothers with us. So we understand. And Dr. Clark is a Alzheimer's scientist, and I have 25 years experience in pharmaceutical sales, um, educating and promoting Alzheimer's medications, and also having my own senior facility, and also being a co-founder of an AI company that is designed specifically for seniors to help them through their journey. So use this platform for your support and just to take a little bit of weight off your shoulders, just a little bit. Dr. Clark?
That is correct. And as we wrap up, for those, like you said, who joined us late, the topic is keeping our loved ones with dementia connected during the holiday. So the most important thing is to make sure that your loved ones do not feel isolated or left out during the holiday. It's out of the routine, yes. The holiday, like Christmas, only comes by once a year. So we need to make an effort to include them in the family gathering and the activity. You want to consider their needs and their preferences when planning the holiday. You do not want to forget that. Among all the other things that you may have to do, we want to definitely keep them at the forefront. Have a quiet place to which they can sit if it gets too noisy, if you realize they're becoming a bit agitated or a little bit aggressive. Something is overstimulating them as to why they're acting out. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Um, Keep them busy with the participation in the decoration and the preparation of the foods and so forth so on, and continue to do what your loved ones did for you when you were younger. You want to now give that back to them. No matter how small it was, wrapping gifts or we also gave a talk in one of our sessions a few months back where we talked about not having to be perfect. So, it's okay if somehow the macaroni got burned. Oh, well, it's just one of those things. And it is what it is. So, you want to make the environment for your loved ones comfortable. All right, you want to consider their needs and make sure that they are participating. You want to keep them engaged in activities. All right, listening to music, helping with cooking, and so forth, so on, like I said. Particularly keep their hands going. The stimulation of the sensory of the movements of their hands, the touch, the smell, the taste. It will increase their mood and but also will keep them calm. So remember that. And in the preparation, you may become overwhelmed yourself. Again, you take time out to slow down for you so that you don't become anxious or um, agitated because they're going to pick up that feeling of your agitation and your mood. So the calmer you are, the calmer they will be. You want to take time for yourself as well so that you can take care of your loved ones during this holiday. This will pass and they will be back to your normal routine.
Mhm.
So happy holidays. And remember, nothing's perfect.
Mhm.
We'll get through this.
May this season bring you all moments of calm, joy, and reassurance, knowing that you are making a difference. Dr. Clark and I appreciate your support, and we appreciate you coming here every single month. Dr. Roll is not on tonight. She is working as usual at PHA. She's working tonight, but she's normally here with us. So we encourage you to take care of your loved ones, but more importantly, take care of yourselves too. Thank you
Yes.
for being here.
Before you all close out, if I may, I just wanted to say that this was a very excellent session. Thank you, Lady Corlett, for the kind invitation to join this, and greetings as well, Dr. Clark, and to everybody. This has been a feast to be a part of, and even though I'm just dipping into it, I have to say that I appreciate hearing everybody's vulnerability tonight. And the idea that support is present, things like this, I think is so powerful, because the idea that being able to not have to shoulder everything, persons on this call might not be able to hop inside of your house and, do all of the particulars for you, but at the same time, being able to hear each other and to share stories is itself a weightlifter. And, something that always stays with me is the thought that says that what is most personal is most universal. And so even being able to share and hear each other's stories, it lets us know that, okay, it's not just me going through this, or you going through that too, and you're able to share ideas and to hear the struggles, because, there's so many levels of the struggle that can happen, whether it's the physical labor, the mental labor, the financial labor. And something I just wanted to just jump on that you would have mentioned as well, Lady Corlett, where you talked about, based on, I believe, Lady Rhonda's question about finding out different places and the adult daycares as well, too. The idea that every person needs a level of community. Tonight is a level of community for the caregivers, as well as for the persons that are dealing with it in their body as well, too. And so even finding environments for them to connect and share with others who may be going through their own experiences, because sometimes isolation can be its own kind of killer. And that's where we aren't properly connecting with each other. Sometimes the body needs, a level of embracing or touching or communication in order to even pick itself back up. It may not be able to fully reverse all the things that have happened to it inside of the wiring of the brain, but it can slow it down a bit sometimes. In terms of being able to find those healthy outlets for communication and bonding. And so that's a gift that we give to ourselves as well to others. Something else, as I was listening to you all, I was processing, because there's a particular person who was inside of my circle. And she was, I think she was about in her 60s or so, and she had a son. So his situation was not dementia, but he had some developmental challenges, physical as well as mental. And so he lived to a very young, but for his situation, a ripe age of 30 something years old. He was wheelchair bound, and she had to do a lot for him. She and his brother, who was younger than him, had to do a lot for him. And so it had basically consumed so much of her life that when he passed, my concern for her was, how is she going to now define her life after having committed so much to him? And I can't say exactly what her medical situation was, but I can say that shortly after he passed, so did she. And there's so many times where, based on the expectations and the love, that so much of what it is that we want to do for the persons in our life that need us, we pour so much in that we leave so little left inside of the tank for ourselves, for other members of our family, that sometimes our own body breaks down, sometimes other relationships break down. And so the idea of being able to, while you're doing what needs to be done, that we're also making sure to remember priority as well too, in the sense of watering our own garden, making sure that we have something to sustain us. And that's the gift that we give to ourselves as well to them, because it can be frustrating. I'm really listening to y'all, and as I'm listening, I'm also processing, because I had an aunt of mine, and she was a singer out of this world. When I tell y'all, she could, and she was one of those high in the rafter singers, kind of operatic, but very, very great singer. And she was very independent as well too. She didn't have any children, and so all of her nieces and nephews kind of pitched in to take care of her once she became more advanced in her years. And she got to about 80 something or so years old, and then a couple of years back, she passed away. And one of the things that we intended to do for her, because we could tell that her mind was beginning to drift, and she was also diagnosed with dementia. And something that she and I would always be able to do was, she always loved learning. So we'd always sit down and learn this, and she'd want to, Bible study this or this new idea, things like that. And she'd always want to sit and learn. And then it came a point in time when she couldn't do that anymore. And she didn't even really have any memory of who I was. And so every time I saw her again, it was always like having to reintroduce. And it, personally, I felt it. You didn't linger on it too long for her sake, but within myself, I still felt it. The idea that all of those private moments that we would have had and whatnot, that it was almost as though it had just vanished. I still hold it. But what was helpful even through those process was, of course, not her sibling, because she was the last of her siblings, but her nieces and nephews were able to shoulder so much of that responsibility. And she was always present at family gatherings, Christmases and whatnot. And I know that it was not easy for her, because she became frustrated many times when she realized that she was remembering things and persons were pressuring her to try to remember things. So even being inside of the session, and I was also stirring some things, memories and experiences for me as well too. And so I just want to say hats off to y'all who this is your daily reality. Kudos to you, because I can tell I didn't have immediate responsibility for her myself, but I could tell that it's always a pressure thing. It's always a hard thing. And so I just want to say caps off to y'all, because y'all are carrying a great burden, and to a certain extent, you're giving them what they're worthy of, that they live the life that would allow for their child or their niece or their nephew or whomever to still have a sense of care for them at this stage of their life. Even when their attitude starts to change and all those kinds of stuff, and their behavior might shift, and they might cuss you out sometimes, and all those sorts of things. I just want to say, if they can't say it, I appreciate it. I do a bit of community work, and so getting involved in different family situations, and to see that there are persons who don't have this kind of support. And so to you all who are in this session, feeding each other and feeding yourselves at the same time, I just want to say hats off to you and thank you from the community.
Thank you so much, Bishop Ramming. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We will close with that. Dr. Ramming, we appreciate all of your insights and your words and your stories.
Bless you.
It's a challenging road, but we're all walking down this road together. We are going through this journey together. Take care, everyone, and thank you for being here. And remember, if you're interested in joining our international support group, please drop your name and phone number in the chat, and Dr. Clark will add you to our WhatsApp group. Thank you all. Have a great evening.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.